Hello there, Geek Collective. Yes, it helps if I pull up the right actual scene before we start rather than the wrong one. How are we all doing today? Welcome to Geeks Plus, where we're more than just your average geeks, and welcome to Geeks Plus Comics Indie Comic Book Club. We are back live on a Sunday, so thank you so much for joining us, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I'm here, of course, with my cohort in comics, LJ, the Blind Bandit, and yes, we even updated his nameplate this week, so we actually look like we're on the ball today. But LJ, how are you doing, sir?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Happy to get into this. I feel like we've been reading this comic for like a month now.
Yeah, like I'll be completely honest. We probably should have came on and done this like a whole lot sooner than this. But like so much has been happening in my own life
Yeah,
lately.
I had things happening too,
You've
so like
had stuff happening, so it's kind of been put off.
yeah.
Like I've like been doing up my apartment to have the kids come over. I've been applying for and now have a new job that I'll be starting this week.
Congrats.
You've had some family stuff going on. You went all the way over to the West Coast for a little bit as well.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
we've had life has been happening, folks. Life has definitely
Yes.
happened to us. So East of West got pushed off a little bit. This was meant to be more like our mid-April comic, but we managed to get
Yeah.
in. We got in at the very end of April with it. We still slid in with it.
We did it.
I was going to say, because like, if we didn't get it this week, it basically became like our May release. And like
Yeah.
and that would have been a case of like, okay, already we've failed to do this once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month, read one indie comic and record this once a month. That's been the plan,
Mhm.
and we almost failed it immediately.
Yeah.
Which, if you've been
ADHD.
here around for any sort of length of time, that's kind of track record for us, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
We're only like, what, 6 months behind on doing V for Vendetta at this point, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
um,
Yep.
but we're here. It is the end of April, and we are going to be talking about, if you can see it in the name below, we are talking about East of West today.
Yeah.
We're going to be checking this one out from one of my favourite writers in comics, Jonathan Hickman. Phenomenal writer with a phenomenal indie stuff. But before we jump into that, how are you doing, LJ? How are things going? How have you been, sir? Do a little catch
Uh.
up with.
Yeah. I've been good. Um. Like as far as like reading stuff goes, like in the realm, I've gotten a little bit into Berserk is the thing I've been getting into the last couple months, the manga. Um, as a lot of people saw, I got the new Daredevil comic that just came out recently. I got that blind bag, and that was super cool. Like, so I'm like, I'm officially like, I'm in now. Like, I'm keeping up with current stuff now, and I'm just like, yep, I'm too far gone now at this point. So,
Nice.
as a Daredevil fan, I've been eating good because there was also a novel that came out the same week, and the show came out the same week.
I was
So,
going to say there's been a lot of Daredevil stuff to keep going with now, man. It's like
yes.
there's been a lot of good Daredevil stuff happening because like I've not kept up with the
Hmm.
novel and the comic, but I've definitely been watching Born Again, and like the show
Yeah.
is just still good as ever. I
Yeah.
still freaking love that show. But yeah, man, you've been eating well as a Daredevil fan for a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes. Hmm.
I've been doing well with comics as well. I have just started reading a phenomenal indie comic from Kieran Gillen, the guy who does Once and Future.
Oh yeah.
He has done a comic called The Die, which I didn't know
I
what
need
it
to look
was at
into that.
first, but it's basically like a whole D&D esque thing where these kids are like taken into the fantasy world that's created and stuff.
That's neat.
First couple of issues into it, and I'm like, it's pretty dope so far. I think it's definitely a series I'm going to be delving into and enjoying, and I could see us even doing that here on the show. It's definitely one that's,
Nice.
with it being D&D as well, I think it's something that's right up our alley to talk about.
Yeah.
But been reading that one, and then I finished up work this week, my current job, and on the Friday there, one of our patients came in and actually gave me an Amazon gift card
Oh, that's
as
cool.
a little thank you and stuff, which she did not have to do. But
That's
I
awesome.
used it this weekend, and I thought, you know what, she brought this in as a little thank you for me instead of like trying to think what's all the stuff I need to get. I'm literally going to use it and
Treat
treat
yourself.
myself, and I'm going to buy like the series that I've been reading through that I still to finish. Like I got the next volume
Hmm.
of Lock and Key, the next volume of Once and
Nice.
Future, and what else was another one I got? I can't remember what it was, but like I got like some of the next volumes of some of the series I've been working my way through. And
Heck
like I'm
yeah.
going to take advantage, get some of this stuff, and try and like actually get close to finishing some of these series. Because I've got a really bad habit, especially with this show, of like starting a comic series, and then like because we do a lot of number ones and we start a lot of new series, I jump to the next series that like, oh, that's a cool looking series, oh, that's a cool look,
Yeah.
and it takes me forever to then go through like the actual rest
Yeah.
of the story. I started reading Lock and Key like with the first time I did Indie Comic Book Club, and this is only volume 4 I've bought of it, and there's 6 volumes, and it's taken me like 5 years to get here with it because I've read so much other stuff in between, and I'm like, no, I need to actually finish this. I need to finish this series.
That reminds me, it's not a continuation of the series or anything, at least I'm pretty sure, but did you see Do a Powerbomb Black and White is coming out?
Yes.
That looks sick.
Yeah. I think it literally is just a release of the original, but it's just in the black and white with the inks and no colouring, and I'm like, I'm tempted. I'm very tempted to snag it. I'm like, which I'll put the link up there if you didn't hear ours last year when we did our Do a Powerbomb Indie Comic Book Club, but freaking loved that book. It was such a good story. It did not deserve to be that good.
That made me a fan of Daniel Warren Johnson, like 100%.
Oh yeah, like the dude's good.
That dude's one of my favorites.
The dude's good at what he does, but it's one of those things you read that book and you're like, if you're a wrestling fan, you need to read that comic because like Daniel Warren Johnson is a wrestling fan, and you can tell. Yeah. Like the way he writes it and puts it out, like it's a great family story, but it's a great wrestling story as well.
But yeah, like stuff like this, like seeing that this is only like what you said, 10 volumes.
Yeah, it's 10
like
volumes.
I could see myself actually reading more of this and eventually finishing it, but I just don't. It's like you're saying, like, like. This we'll read this, and then it's like I don't know when I'll get to the other ones, but like I would like to.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like it's like I've got numbered volume 2. I've not read it, but I've literally got volume 2 sitting on my shelf here right next to me.
Nice.
To read and pick up, which I'm probably going to be reading after I finish Die now because I've got the chance to keep going now that I've reread volume 1. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's get back into this. But you often don't realize how short some of these are because you're like, oh, it's 10 volumes, which for some of the indie comics we've read, that's a long time, but it's only 45 issues. It's only 45 issues. Like from being like Marvel and DC fans, like that's nothing. Like they reboot after every like 50 plus issues, you know what I mean? Like it's like 45's nothing for a full story, and because this first volume's only like first 6 issues, something like that, 5-6 issues. It's not it's like, and I think I said it to you before we even came on. Like there's a lot of good stuff in this, but it very much feels like a start. It's like it's chapter 1 of a book. It's like it's chapter 1 of a story. It's set up for what's to come. It's like it gives you all the little pieces you need and sets up a lot of the stuff, and they even get like a phenomenal like massive battle at the end of it in the last issues, and it's like, but it's very much like this is nothing compared to what's about to happen. So let's delve in a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the story itself. So without delving too deeply into spoilers right away, what were your initial thoughts on East of West?
So my initial thoughts were stuff that got answered towards the end, because like you were saying, it does feel very much like a chapter 1, like a start, but there's also a lot they don't tell you, which they give you they set the stage and like where the world's at and stuff like that, which is cool. But there was a lot that was happening that I'm like, okay, why is this happening, or what is this? And at first that was a bit of a criticism because like I felt slightly confused. But by the end they wrap that up and kind of lay out more of it and kind of explain a little more of it. So they do a thing which I think is very creative now that I've finished the book, is they do a lot of just kind of showing and don't tell kind of thing at first. And then towards the end, like the last like maybe issue and a half or so, is when they finally go, okay, here's what this is, here's what they're doing, here's the whole shebang, here's the whole plot, like here's why we're here. And I'm just like, okay. I was like, okay, and I'm like, that's awesome. There's still lore and certain things I want to know about certain characters.
Oh yeah.
That I feel like will get answered at some point. But other than that, like it kind of like the build up to the last the build up to like the last two issues or so was really good because it kind
Mhm.
of was like, oh, we're gonna answer like we're gonna answer these questions. You just don't know it yet, and
Yeah.
so that I really found that interesting, and because the idea that it started off as a criticism of mine, but then it made up for it. Like I was like, okay, this is where y'all are going. I'm down now. Like so,
Yeah, and I think that's a
um,
fair criticism as well because like
mm,
we've read indie comics where it's like you start off with like a whole bunch of questions and like, okay, I hope they answer this, and they don't get answered.
yeah,
It doesn't explore like the stuff that we're looking for and like or like give
yeah,
us hints that okay, yeah, these questions are there for a reason and
hmm
you're meant to be
and
talking about them and stuff.
yeah.
It's
And there's like assumptions you could make, but then it's like you really don't know until you do have those questions answered. So
yeah, like
they
this is my
they did a good
second
job.
reading through it, and like there was still parts
Hmm
I had to go back and reread and make sure I was taken in correctly, and
hmm
you know, especially when it comes to stuff like the prophecy and that sort of stuff, and all
Yeah,
the setup for that. I had to go back like to the first pages to kind of like because that was really the only point where it goes any sort of in depth about it, and as it starts revealing more of it, I had to go back and like, wait, what did it say about
yeah,
that again? What was
yeah,
that? And it's like
yeah,
because you're trying to grasp the world that you're in because like you can't quite.
yes,
It's a weird world where it's like it's half between like it's in the middle of an apocalypse,
hmm
but like the apocalypse hasn't happened yet because it's like leading
yeah,
to that. And
yeah,
it's like so like it's this weird world where you're kind of like, okay, so what stuff is like that's been prophesied has happened and what stuff
hmm
hasn't happened yet and what stuff are we leading to, and then
yeah,
obviously we get the reveal at the end of the beast, you know, and like
yeah.
the whole setup for stuff like that, and it's like it's
Like
really
like
intriguing.
I almost want a prequel comic, but I feel like further questions are going to be answered through more flashbacks and
Oh,
things like that too.
100%, one hundred
So I'm just
percent.
like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, like because I just felt like it felt like there was a part of the story I was missing.
Yeah, but then you also
Mhm.
get like that, like there's a scene where it like flashes back to like all these
Yes.
people turning on death at one point.
hmm
And it's like it's one of those things of like it's literally just like a flash and it's done sort of flashback.
Yeah.
And it's like so you get the feeling of like that's like episode one of a TV series where it's like you get that like brief flashback of what's coming and you know at some point in a future episode there's going to be like this lengthy flashback that kind of starts to answer
Yeah.
more of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a credit to Hickman's writing too.
100%. Like you get the feeling that he sat down to write East of West, knowing every step.
hmm
Like there's nothing that's like that you feel like if there's any question there, you know he's put it there specifically because he knows he's going to answer it and he's going to
Yeah.
flesh it out. Like you very much get that. Like he feels very in control of his writing,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what I love from Hickman. Hickman's known for these big epic. Like one of my favorite stories Hickman ever did was like his massive run on Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I started reading that a couple months ago when all the before the movie came out, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, and his like massive run on Fantastic Four, like there's even two segments to that where it's like he's got a massive run on Fantastic Four that goes from Fantastic Four, FF, Future Foundation, all this stuff
hmm
that sets up like Reed talking to the Council of Reed, and it ends
Yes.
up with like a whole flashback of a future version of his son Franklin Richards coming back through to save his dad
Yeah.
and stuff, which ends up with like one of my favorite moments in Marvel Comics ever, with Franklin having Galactus as his herald
Oh,
and
yeah,
sending him
that's
back and
awesome.
stuff, which is like absolutely phenomenal. But
That's
even
wild.
then, like that's the Fantastic Four story, but then it even ties into what would
Like
become
Secret
like
Wars, right?
his new Avengers and Secret Wars stuff, because
Secret
the whole
Wars,
end of
yeah.
Secret Wars is it's between Doom and Reed. So like the
Yeah.
whole thing has been one continuous story, and I'm like, it's like, dude, like how do you plan that?
Yeah, even I'm not that far into Fantastic Four, but you see those things that are kind of peppered in that are definitely going to be a greater impact later on. So like I see that in this writing of this book as
Yeah,
well too, which is cool.
100%. Like Hickman's a master of that stuff, and I think that definitely I think that's definitely present in East of West. Like I've not read beyond Volume 1. This isn't one of these stories
Right.
where I've read more. So I'm like, I don't know what's to come, but I have no doubt of how good it's going to be.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah. So for anyone watching from this point on, spoilers, we're going to start delving into Volume 1. If you want to go and check out East of West for yourself and see the writing of it, 100% go and check it out now before you delve into this with us. But also, like, it's spoilers for this first volume, but I don't think we're spoiling that much of the overall story.
Right.
I very much feel this is like chapter 1 of a book we're telling you about.
Yeah.
You're going to get hints of what's to come, but like even like the big reveal at the end of it, like I talked about with the Beast, like that feels like it should be a massive like reveal, and I'm like, but is it like at the end of Volume 1? So I'm like, so if that's the reveal at the end of Volume 1, like what the hell's going to come next? You know, like there's so much stuff to come. But from this point on, spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, this is your chance to bow out. This is a book club, so we go in depth into the actual storytelling and what's told and stuff. So, so the story kicks off with the prophecy, and I want to pull this up because I will forget the wording of it. And they kind of go through the prophecy. Well, it starts off kind of like with the members of the Four Horsemen, but it's their stuff's involved with the prophecy. And it's like the prophecy like goes back all the way to like American Civil War and Preacher.
Yeah.
Dude.
The way they set up how certain things happened differently in the Civil War for them to get to where they are in the book, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that's why you still get a little bit of the Western style and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, the sci-fi-ness of the world and all that. Like it walks a line between the two like worlds. Like
yeah, because it starts off with like the preacher Elijah, because it starts talking about like, okay, it was the Civil War, and he even served under like a General Stonewall Jackson and stuff for the South, and like so it goes into like it starts off in American history, like the Civil War happened, but it's just there's a slightly different history on it.
Yes.
Elijah was loyal, grey until the Battle of Chantilly. That's when he heard the word abandoned war and was born again as Prophet Longstreet. And then it jumps to, 1 year later, Standing Bear, the Ponca chief, if I'm saying that right, and only remaining holdout of the Native American tribes, laid down arms before the strongman of Lakota. And Red Cloud became chief of chiefs. There was smoke, oral histories, coalesced with the endless Indian nation, came into being. And I'm like, so you start getting these different prophets and wise men and of like I think there's like 3 or 4 of them that all come together and start putting elements of this prophecy together.
Yeah.
And it even shows like a comet having struck that should have destroyed the land and stuff like that. And then Prophet Longstreet starts to put together the prophecy. And then the last one that's for it, because it'll become prominent for the end of this book to mention them. Leader Chairman Mao Zedong penned the addendum to his little red book, his portion, the missing portion of the message. The 3 were one, and the one, it was the story of the world's end. It's like, then there was a lone man, a broken sparrow, one part a son of night, the first of 4, the end of everything. And it's like, and that's it. That's all we get of this prophecy. But going through this book, there are the chosen, who are the believers of this prophecy, who are looking to usher in this prophecy of the end of the world. So much so to the point of, even before that part of the book, the very first few pages, it's like the rebirth of the horsemen.
Yeah.
Of conquest, war, and famine. And they're working alongside them, but death isn't with them.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, we have no idea what's happened. We have no idea why the 4th horseman isn't with them. Which is a really interesting setup. And kind of like you said, you feel like something's missing.
Right.
Like
it's a little bit jarring.
Yeah, we've missed part of the story. It's like, so it's like you're almost kind of thrown in and have to like try and grab your bearings a little bit. But that's when we're introduced to Death himself. Adorned in white, white-skinned, white hair, badass-looking cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
With his two... I've read the first volume, I still don't entirely know who his companions are. I just know they're called Bear and Crow. And they have very Native American looking attire. They have, like, Crow is completely black-skinned. Bear is completely white-skinned. He's a massive, like, buff dude.
I want to know more about those two.
Yeah, because, like, we don't hear much about them, and we don't even see much of what they can do until the final fight in this book.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you two? Why do you have these abilities? Why are you traveling with Death?
Yeah, my assumption is that Death, for whatever reason, which I don't think they get into, is like, we'll get into it later, but how like he stayed and stuff like that. Like, I'm under the assumption it was some kind of Native American or some kind of native ritual or something that kept him there. That's the lore I'm excited to get into, is the stuff with him and his companions and stuff like that. Because like, that's what I want to know.
Because this separation between Death and the other horsemen is very much kind of left up in the air in the first volume. Because, like I said, we get that flashback where there's all these members of, like, who we find out are the Chosen, like, surrounding Death and, like, guns pulled on him and stuff. So it's like there was some sort of separation before the Horseman's rebirth.
Yeah.
And it's like, did they try to kill Death? Did these two companions save him? Are these just two people that are a means to an end for him? Like, there's so much questions of what happened before this for him that's just left unanswered.
Yeah.
But like we said about Hickman, I feel like it's left unanswered intentionally.
Yes.
I feel like it's a story, like you said, that we're going to delve into as we go forward.
Yeah.
So from here, it very much becomes Death. Like, the initial thing with Death is he walks into this bar. And it's so funny because, like, the people at the bar don't know who he is. It's not like he's a known figure. It's not like he's recognized. And then the bartender starts to freak out as well because he's like, I'm not going to serve their kind.
Yeah.
Like, he has a literal horseman of death in front of him and is more than happy to serve him, but isn't happy to serve his companions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't feel like it's just like they're Native American or anything like that. It's like there's something else about them, but we don't get into it. To which Death then turns around and insults all the soldiers that are in the bar.
Yeah.
Which they don't take kindly to, and it ends up just being a massacre. Like, they just tear through everyone, and that, like, sets up the kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Where is it? So you think you could hide from me, Hunter? Like, that's your deeds wouldn't find you out. And so it starts to hint at, like, he's hunting the dude behind the bar because he's hunting after the people that try to take him out.
Yeah.
And kind of leads him there, and he basically uses this dude to get information to try and find some of the others.
Yeah.
So, like, that's our opening scene.
Yeah.
That is our opening scene, is the return of Death, essentially. And the fact of, like, whatever happened, whatever they did to turn on him, he's back and he's pissed.
Instantly giving off that classic Western revenge plot, like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, he doesn't just dress like a cowboy. It very much feels like a sci-fi Western-esque story to it. Like, it's very... It's a big, massive mix of, like, futuristic and also apocalyptic, but also has that Western feel. Like, even the bar he walks into feels like an old Western saloon, and, like, the whole thing has got, like, one of the major guys they end up talking to feels like an old-timey Southern prospector sort of guy, It's like, it's very much got the feel of of that old-timey sort of Western. Sorry, my mind wandered there. ADHD. It's like a thought came in and my mind disappeared for a second there. But it very much has that feel of the old Western. which I
Yeah.
really like. I really dig. Like I'm a huge fan of Firefly. I love the sci-fi western stuff. So this is completely up my. Even like the horse he's riding is some weird mechanical
Dude,
robot
that
horse
thing's
thing,
awesome. Yeah.
and I'm like, I still don't know what to make of it. I'm like, it's the most bizarre looking yet somehow badass thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying. Let me see if I can pull up the page of
There's
it.
that particular shot later in the comic whenever it's blasting the dudes
Yeah,
with
so
like
like
the
the first
laser.
shot we get of it is this.
Yeah.
It's him
It's
riding
some kind
away from
of
this weird futuristic like towers and stuff in the middle of an apocalyptic canyon,
yeah.
and he's riding a freaking black robot horse without a head. And I'm like, so this far into the comic, I'm still like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I
There's a lot
still,
of interesting design, like artistic choices.
absolutely. But from there we get like our little swing back to a bit more of the three horsemen as it is now of conquest, death, and famine. A little bit more about them because we start to find out like they were like reborn, and I still
Yeah.
don't quite understand how that mechanic works. Of like the four horsemen are like reborn in new bodies. Like, do they bring like multiple apocalypses? Do they? Is it
That's
something that
almost
happened?
Darksiders-esque to me, because like in like the Darksiders series, how there's like
Yeah.
the seals and they have the horsemen pop up in there like that, and it's just like, oh, maybe this has happened more than once, or like
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it very much hints because like especially War like complains about he doesn't like his new body. Like he was like a
Yeah.
this like beautiful woman of war before, and like he's like he wishes he still had that body, and I'm like, but it's not like it doesn't feel like the horsemen were defeated.
Right.
So it's very much like is this just a thing that happens? Do you all just like die and are reborn?
Yeah, because like they come back as like kids.
Yeah, they come back like as proper children. It's still like all their memories and still terrifying,
Mm-hmm.
but nonetheless children.
Yeah.
So we get a little hint of them. We don't get too much at this point, just enough to keep teasing them.
Yes.
And then they go, Death goes to the White Tower, which we find out is modern day, or well, that modern day equivalent of the White House. It's where the president of the USA sits. So instead of the White House, it's
Yeah.
the White Tower, and it's literally a white cylindrical tower in the middle of all this mechanical looking
Yeah.
like other buildings that are just like typical
Almost like
steel.
Tower of Babel kind of esque kind of
Yeah,
like
it's got that kind
style
of
thing.
feel to it.
Mhm.
And even like the president's office, it's very much like a redesign of the current day Oval Office.
Yeah.
So it's like they've tried to recapture it. They've got the American flag on the wall. It's like it feels
Yeah.
it feels like they're trying to recapture it, but you're like you don't get the feel of it's got as much power as it used to carry. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of, I don't know if you remember that episode of Fallout, the TV series, when the ghoul gets captured in like episode in season 1, and he's taken to like the president and those that are still like the government.
Yes.
And they're trying to maintain like, oh, we're the ones in charge now.
When he's basically like, "Are you sure about that?"
But it's like they're clearly not in charge of much because they've had no influence up to this
He's
point.
like, "Have you seen the world lately?" Like kind of.
And then just as quickly he dispatches them as well, and it's kind of like, well, you're clearly not as in control. Like I get that feel from this Oval Office, of like there's a president here, but I'm like, you're really not in charge of much, though, are you?
Yeah.
Or at least
Kind of all the political figures in this book kind of feel that way to a degree. Like
they all feel like they're figureheads that have just been put there. Especially as we see, like, for the president, because, like, spoilers for this section, he kills the president. The president's one of the people that turned on him.
Pops up in there.
You know, he's one of the people that turned on Death and attacked him, and Death goes to get his revenge and murders him and all of his staff. Like, it's a massacre. Which I love that at this point we don't see that either. We just see the bodies. So it tells you just how you're kind of left in awe of like, well, this is Death. Did he shoot them all? Did they just like did they kill themselves? Did they all just fall down dead? Like, what are his powers exactly? Is he just that damn good at what he does? You know, it's like it's still left in the open, but he kills the president, and just like that, by the time we get into the next issue, they're anointing a new president, who's one of the chosen. The horsemen basically handpick a new president. So like it very much feels, it gives that feel like you were saying of like they have no power. They're just picked for the sake of having someone in that position.
And the horsemen just have their hands in the cookie jar. They're right there with every one of them, being like, "Hey, what
Oh
are you
yeah,
doing?"
like they've, you get the feeling that they've manipulated everything. They've manipulated it to have the chosen in specific spots for specific purposes and reasons so that they can just have charge.
Yeah.
Almost like so they don't have to worry about being over everything. They can just, yeah, we're in charge of this.
Yeah, like they're pulling from the strings. They're pulling the strings from the shadows, kind of a thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so we get. Sorry, just end of issue 1. This is a bit
No, you're good.
gory, but like flipping through the pages and I'm like,
yeah,
death. There's something so cool about the hallway, including the now dead president, strewn in this hallway and it being covered in so much blood and massacre.
Yeah.
And him walking through it in a completely white suit that is not touched by blood.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and it's just like this stuff's a joke now in this world. Like it doesn't matter.
Like that's a scary level of ability that you have massacred this room of people and you don't have any of their blood on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's a terrifying level of control of the situation. I'm like, at no point is he in danger.
Yeah.
Flicking forward through then into issue 2, like obviously we talked about the new president is put into power, hand chosen by the horsemen who really don't give a damn about the old president being killed. They're just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
There's not an issue with them. They just want to keep moving forward and are very much pushing forward with the prophecy that for the end of the world and making it happen.
Yeah.
Again, we still don't really get much about the prophecy at this point. Just that it exists. And then the president goes and meets with some of the other like chosen, some of the other like leaders of the world that are like controlling everything. Which is the kind of feel that you would expect. It's a bunch of like, it's the billionaires of America, basically.
Yeah.
All gathered together, all the ones.
There's a lot of parallels in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. It very much feels like that way. It's like it's almost became prominent now in America.
Yeah.
But like it's very much like that feeling you got of. It's very funny because there's a lot of play that's kind of similar to that, and I just read Exquisite Corpses not too long ago. Phenomenal first volume. But the whole point is like in that comic they bring a whole bunch of killers together for one big thing that all the powerful people in America do like every year for this big contest thing. But it's that thing of like they do it just for fun. This little town is going to get massacred by all these killers coming into it, and it's just for fun. And it's like it plays on the whole fact of like these are all like the billionaire families in the country, and like they're the ones that are really in control of what goes on. You know, it's like they're almost like at the point of like they're above the government. The government's like a figurehead so that the people can look to someday. But they're so much far beyond that. And that's what you kind of get in the feel of this group of the chosen is like whatever political power they've got, like they're so far beyond it. They're so in a different realm of possibility for that. And they go through like a little so what I'm looking for, a little ritual of like some bloodletting and stuff. They kind of like delve back into the prophecy. So you see now the waking world and what must happen. I believed, but I never imagined. Most men cannot, which is why we have the message, to keep us from getting lost on the path. But that's providence. What are we going to do about our problem? And then obviously going to talking about death and stuff. But it's like it's the fact of like the message is what keeps them pushing forward.
Yeah.
The message is what keeps them moving.
Like their mess is not as cleaned up as they thought. Like, oh, we got to fix this. Like,
yeah, it's like, you know, like, and the woman that's now became president is very much thrown into this in a way of it's like, I didn't realize what was involved in this, and I'm like, it almost like coming to terms with how horrible this is actually going to be.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they don't shy away from that, but they're also very much like, this is how horrible it's going to be, but we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of feel to it. And then we get the meeting of one of those like elderly like guys. The guy I kind of described as like the old school prospector sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying desperately to find his name because I cannot remember it.
Yeah, because even he pops up again at the end, right? And so I was trying to think, like, who was that guy again? Like, but
Because he's like one of the guys that turned on Death.
and he like Death leaves him alive instead of
Yeah, like Death
kinda,
shows up. Death's waiting at he's at the Black Towers as his kind of like base of operations, and Death is waiting for him, but like he has no fear of Death.
yeah,
Death's like pointing the gun at him, and he's like, I could just pull the trigger, sort of thing, and he does not. He doesn't fret or worry about it.
yeah,
Our friends and I, we the Chosen, are trying very hard to orchestrate the end of the world. As you know, we are the ones that have helped the other horsemen find you a decade ago. We are the ones who took everything from you, because at that time we felt we had to. We see ourselves as conduits for the greater cause. You do not. You do understand the primary source of that motivation, don't you? And he's like, the message. Yes, Apocrypha predicting the end of the world. And may I tell you a secret, Death? Something I have hidden deep in my heart and never uttered aloud. I no longer care. I woke up one day and realized that I have to come to appreciate all the fine things I've acquired, the things that real power has provided me. I've decided that the world suits me, just as you did. So this dude goes from, like, he's a member of the Chosen. He's a follower
yeah,
of the message. And we find out here he's playing a part.
yeah,
And Death comes from him and he's like, I don't care about that. I've found that the world suits me just as it is.
yeah,
So bringing about the end of the world really doesn't suit me. So I'm going to make a deal with you. And to spare his life, he tells Death one of the things that he wants to know. Or one of the things that he would want to know that he doesn't realize as of yet.
yeah,
His wife is still alive.
yep. It's a game changer.
And we get the shocking revelation that Death has a wife.
Yep.
That Death chose something in this world above like his calling and fell in love with a human woman.
Yeah.
Which of course sets him off on a completely different path. And this is kind of like what takes the rest of the first chapter or the first volume, is the realization of his wife. I am so bad.
Feels like
I'm so bad with
things
names
kick
in this
into high
book.
gear.
Yeah. But basically, we find that she is the granddaughter. I think it's the granddaughter or the great granddaughter of the third man who like completed the prophecy, the message.
Yeah.
Her father is running like a new empire that he created in the American apocalyptic wasteland, New Shanghai, which he runs and rules, and he has two daughters, one who we find is a follower of the message herself, and then his other daughter who is literally held in like a garden and has been for years, with like one of those like neck collars on that's got like the pole arms coming off of it with like guards holding her.
Yeah, they lock her down pretty tight. She's like strapped there.
Yeah, and she's got like those metal like gauntlets over her hands and stuff. Like she is like properly locked up. So like they sell her as a danger.
Yeah.
Like that she could kick ass and get work done. Where was it in the next part? Yeah, so like we get a whole thing of like the older sister, the one who's with the Chosen, like set up her sister, and we see her clashing with like the adult horsemen from previously
Yeah.
before they were reborn. And they basically take her hostage, and like some great artwork for that.
Yes, that is a really cool shot right there.
Like the other three members of the horsemen, and like really cool, really well done. We get stuff of like the horseman being on his trail and stuff, but a lot of what happens next is the setup for the Battle of New Shanghai against Death and his comrades, which I absolutely love. Of like, it's a 3-man team, and
it was like Endgame levels, Infinity War levels of combat. Just three against all those freaking soldiers. Like, it was epic.
The three of them against them.
You start to see what some of what his allies can really do right there. That was really cool.
Like, I love that the warriors are getting hunted down, and then like you just get a guy who shows up with a white flag who's a messenger, which I absolutely loved. And he wants to what is this? Hold there, onward warriors, I have a message for you. The righteous words of Mao 5. He seeks to parley, to sue for peace. I can't say I see that happening. I'm like, then hear the warning from the great house instead. Leave here now. The rabble before the Great Wall were nothing compared to the war masters that wait for you inside the Imperial City. They are as stars to the sun. So he goes through his whole thing and he says, so you best go running back to Mao, telling him the bad news, telling him there will be no quarter. You got it? He's like, yes. Then go, run for your life, run back to your city. The Great Wall is coming down.
Tough line. He's like, yeah, we're not yielding. Yeah. He's like, no, we're coming.
The Great Wall is coming down, and my judgment will follow shortly.
That's such a badass. Like, that's definitely old Western hero. Like,
yeah,
like hell's coming with me kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like I've torn through the rabble in front of the walls. Like, now we're coming inside the walls. Like, there's no peace.
Yeah. Just, no, we're coming. We're not taking the deal.
I love that the message gets back to Mao, though, and it's like, he asks his daughter, like, tell me, little flower, was it worth it? And then she imagines herself and Death together and just says to him, yes. Yeah. Which, again, another subtle bit of lore that I love here as well. Her kissing Death, and Death has a completely black skin and hair.
Yeah, so that's a transition I feel like is like an artistic choice too, because even in the flashbacks, they show him as like all black, you know, and then like when we see him in the book, he's all white, and so are like his allies. So the blackness and like the whiteness feels like, oh, like he's not supposed to be part of this world. He's an anomaly. Like,
yeah.
And so even in that survival, like he's not supposed to be there. He's an anomaly.
I almost wonder
he's something they didn't plan for.
I almost wonder if it's a storytelling aspect as well.
Yes.
Because you remember in like the old like westerns, it was the old trope of like the good guy wears the white hat and the black guy wears the black hat.
Yeah.
Almost like for that, like he was like completely in black before, and like now he is like completely pure white. And so it's like that, almost like that feels like that old western trope of him being like the sole hero against the enemy sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued to see if there's any more lore to it, like of why he changed from black to white.
Like maybe like if it's ash or something that covers them, or if there's some kind of like in-world like lore.
Yeah, if there's a reason for the transformation, or if it is just that, like it's him switching sides or whatever, or if there's going to be like an in-world.
Even as something as simple as a storytelling, you know, mechanism, like that's amazing.
Yeah, like it's such a cool concept.
Yeah.
And then they stand at the walls. Issue 4. Like, I just need to show these pages. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's like issue 4 is just
that one where the horse thing is blasting that laser through them is absolutely sick.
Yeah, because like at this point, like we've really no idea what Death is capable of. We've no idea what his horse is capable of. We have no idea what his allies are capable of. And then like you all of a sudden as well, like you see Crow like
Yeah, the shot with
transform into
yes.
the crows that are sent into
That's very
war, and it's like,
that's the shot that gave me like Infinity War Endgame vibes right there, was that shot.
and it's like, holy crap, like,
Yeah. Like we're dealing with some cosmic superpower level
yeah, and
stuff
then like
going on there.
wolf transforms and disappears into a pack of wolves, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's insane. It's like, what is going on? It's this
Yeah.
massive war, and then within like moments, it's done.
Yeah.
They have torn through New Shanghai, and then like, what's her face? Like the youngest sister, like gets like Death's wife, gets free of her
Mm-hmm.
stuff and ends up like snapping her sister's sword and killing her.
And her
And
father.
she kills her sister literally by grabbing her head and crushing it.
That was a brutal shot. There are some brutal like depictions in this. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I love the fact of like we get the picture just before that of when she fought the horseman and lost, that her sister and the horseman took her hands. So she's got like
Yeah.
robotic metal hands, and then she uses those to get revenge on her sister, and just
Kinda
it's
poetic.
such a gory shot. Just
Yeah.
smashing her head, and it's like,
It's very almost like Invincible. Like that's the vibe I got, was like some
yeah,
of the violence you get out of Invincible.
it very much gave vibes of like that episode 1 of Invincible, where like the story's been okay to this point, and then all of a sudden all this gore, like when Omni-Man takes out like the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
level of stuff. And then of course she finishes it and like just beheads her father, and takes and just like that, she is now in charge of New Shanghai.
Yeah.
Which I love as well, that the old prospector dude, we see that he's watching on,
Mhm.
like in a screen, and sees his like Mal getting like beheaded, and is like, son of a bitch. And then we
Yeah.
see him also talking to the horseman,
Yeah.
and he starts playing the horseman as well, and like this dude is trying to play both sides here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, he's one of those dudes where I'm like, I can't wait for like whatever issue where it comes that you're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like he's almost considering this all just as entertainment. Like he's just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is fun.
He very much feels like when you see stuff like like it's almost like the Squid Game-esque element of stuff, of like where like all the powerful people come in to watch all the poor people do the games, and it's just
Yes.
sheer entertainment. It's like he's
Yeah.
it's like he's the bored rich dude. Like he's literally
Yeah.
got access to all the stuff that life can give you. Like he can drink as much as he wants. He can get whatever drugs he wants. He can get whatever women he wants. And it's like, it's almost so easy now that it's boring to him that he has to escalate what he does for entertainment.
Yeah.
So like trying to play death and the horsemen off each other, it's like, it's one of those things of like, he's clearly doing it for entertainment, but you also know that it's going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't know when, I don't know what point. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna get his at some point.
Yeah, like family even says to him that he's a silver-tongued devil. It's like, so like the horsemen are playing along, but like they very much are aware of what he is.
Even they detest him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're aware of what he is and what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Because he even says to him, it's like, well, as long as we're being honest with one another, I cannot help but notice he is on the other side of the world while the three of you are here. Proper roles, you say. It seems you have
like,
become...
why aren't you over there?
Yeah, like, you know where he is. Why aren't you going and confronting him?
Yeah.
And it's like, may I humbly suggest concerning yourself with doing your job and worrying less about mine? Like, which War gets pissed at, and it's like, you dare? And it's like, oh, I indeed dare. This is there to fear. What is there to fear here? You? Boy, I have known war all my life. Conquest, I am a conquistador. Famine, well, lean times are for peasants, aren't they? And do I not look like a man who wants to have, who wants have long surpassed his needs? All I fear is one thing, and it's the same thing that you do: death.
Yep.
It's like, dude, it's like one of those things of like, no, I know where I stand.
That's literally and figuratively, like in the same breath. It's just like, dang.
Yeah, it's like let's put all the bullshit aside. let's lay it all out on the table, where I stand, where you all stand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're dating me about challenging all of you, but
Yeah.
you're also terrified to go and face him head on. It's like, I fear what
Yeah.
you fear, death.
I do love that speech he gives about like, oh yeah, like he found one thing that like, and the whole speech he gives about love, like he's just like, yeah, no, like but he's like, yeah, that's makes him unstoppable, like because that's the that's the thing he's after. It makes anyone feel that way and all this stuff like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that was a powerful couple bits of dialogue there that I'm like, oof, like that just like
Yeah.
speaks volumes, like
And
how
just his
powerful.
and just his dialogue at the end of the chapter, like when he talks about like him meeting up with her, Xiaolin's her name, by the way, I
Yes.
finally found it. She is Xiaolin, and you should fear her as much as you fear him.
Hmm.
For this is the woman who conquered death.
Yes, yeah, and that's when he gets into that bit of dialogue.
And it was like, holy crap, man, like that's
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah,
such powerful writing.
yep.
Um, and then issue 5 is kind of like a little in between, like, palate cleanser chapter where you
Hmm.
get the kind of reconciliation between Death and Xiaolin, and it's sad because you feel like he really does still care about her,
Hmm.
but it almost feels like she's kind of moved on for it, having been in prison for so long, and
Yeah,
isn't his focus anymore.
like he's got some things to prove in her eyes, like.
Yeah. But he's also the one that reveals to her that, and we also find at this point that they had a child together.
That was, I was like, whoa, that revelation that it's like, oh no, they had a baby, and she, yeah, it's like, oh what,
Yeah.
and even the baby was all white.
Yeah. Because, like, I love the final dialogue as he reveals that. Because it's like, he talks about her hands and stuff, and then he says, I'm sorry. And she's like, that's not good enough. He's like, I love
Yeah.
you. Then where were you when it mattered? And we see, like, the two of them together, the young and in love.
Hmm.
And then, like, her being pregnant and giving birth. And you get that that's part of the prophecy as well, of the third, but not of the three. A cup of a cup, a chalice of a chalice.
Hmm.
And he makes the big revelation to her that their child is still alive.
Yeah.
Which, that's where we're going with this one. And she basically tasks him with bringing him back. And we see that the chosen have him.
Hooked up to all kinds of machinery and all
Like,
that crap.
completely
Like,
hooked up and being brainwashed.
yeah.
Like, his gut is completely in, his back has cables out of it. He's got a helmet on, so he's only seeing what they're allowing him to see, just interacting with an AI,
Yeah.
which the AI is like challenging him and testing him and pushing him on his ideals and his knowledge, and even like, what is your favorite, like, uh, what is it? He challenges him something. Your favorite piece of prose, and he says something, and the machine goes, "That's interesting. Who wrote it?" And he's like, "I did." And I'm like, he's developing his own worldview based on this.
Yeah.
And then the AI asks him, "How do you feel?" And he's like, "I don't know what that means." Like, they're
It's
almost like
wild.
they're like turning him into an unfeeling monster
Yeah.
with a specific worldview, turning him into the beast of the apocalypse,
Yeah.
which is like already, like, right from the get go, hints at we're going to have to be seeing Death versus the Beast.
Yeah.
Death is going to face his son at some point.
Yeah. It makes you wonder too, like, is any amount of programming gonna be able to like fully control him also? Like the stuff that kind of implies too. I'm like, well, maybe he also might not be as programmed as they all want him to be. Like, we're gonna find out.
Well, that's it. It's like it feels like very much like a movie sort of setup of like them trying to control this great vast power that they clearly don't understand.
That's a hell of a cliffhanger too.
And it's like, it's one of those things of like that they're trying to control this beast, and I'm like, if this thing is released and has even one iota of its own desire,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Yeah.
But like, how do you expect to stop this? And I'm like, you get
You're
the,
done.
because you get the feeling of like, even though the horsemen are there to like usher in it, you get the feeling that the beast is going to be a big factor in the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, who's going to have more control of that?
Yeah.
Hey, Space Hulk, yeah, man, it's a really
Yo.
cool story, man. Because like, if you even if you take it from like the biblical like revelation, where the horsemen are from and stuff like that,
Yeah.
if you take it from the biblical stance of the end of the world and the apocalypse, which is where we get all the stuff for the horsemen, and the horsemen are seen as these figures of destruction, the beast is worse.
Yeah.
Just
Then
from
it's like, what happens after the prophecy? Like, you know, like what happens like when you do make the beast? Like,
yeah, because I'm like, what are the horsemen going to do? Because it's like the horsemen at this point, we don't know the process of it, but the horsemen have clearly died and been reborn multiple times, which means they can be killed.
Yeah.
But if you take that biblical stance of it, like the beast is like the real end of everything, like the, you know, like the beast, the antichrist, the whatever, like the Bible talks about, it's built up as a bigger thing. And I'm like, what if the story is taking that aspect of it? Like, can the horsemen even control this thing?
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, the horsemen aren't even going to be able to handle that.
But also, the interesting thought I had on it as well, though, is do the horsemen even know about him?
That's a good question too.
Because we don't see the horsemen interacting. We see the two, like the old prospector guy, Chamberlain, I think his name is, and another, like the guy who I think looks like the Texas car salesman with the big beard. It's like the two of them are where the beast is talking. They're the only ones we see in that area. So it's like, do the horsemen even know?
Yeah.
Do they even know he's there?
Don't.
I'm like, are they even aware? Like, because it's not even made clear if they're aware that Death has had a child. Because when they're reborn, they're almost questioning why Death isn't with them.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't know about the whole situation or something like that.
And I'm like, do they
where's
know?
he at?
Do they know he fell in love with a human? Do they know that they had a child? Do they know of the beast? And I'm like,
because I mean, they kind of know that he's still alive, and then I would think that when Chamberlain's having that conversation with them, I think that's whenever I feel like that's their first time learning. Like, oh, he found love. Like,
yeah, it's like it's almost like they either didn't know about it or didn't understand and comprehend it.
Right.
Like it was so far beyond them. And like, what you fell in love? What do you mean you fell in love?
Yeah.
What do you mean he fell in love with a human? Like that's not something that can happen. Like, what are you talking about? And it's like, no, he did.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cool concept, I think. And that's it. And it's like, I feel like we've almost like flown through the story of the first 5 issues. But I very much feel that it is chapter 1.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like,
and it's an easy read too.
Yeah, it's an easy read to get through, and I feel like it very much is. It's a setup for what's to come.
Yeah.
It sets up the world that you're meant to come in. Like, Mal was meant to be taken down just for a kind of like a chance to show off the power of what Death could do, to show off Shaolin and who she is, and to set up the beast, to set up the horsemen, to set up the chosen. Like, it was the first 5 issues were like setting in place the story. Like, I don't feel like we've gotten to this story yet.
Yeah.
You know, at least that's very much what I feel like reading through this chapter. Let's talk a little bit about the story and the artwork and that kind of side of stuff and delve into a bit of that. What did you think of the writing from Jonathan Hickman? Like I know we talked a little bit beforehand, but
the writing is again, it's really good. He's left a trail of breadcrumbs and given us pieces that it's like, oh, here's why we should keep reading. There's certain things that like we said, he's left untouched, and like, which I think is going to be cool for later volumes, hopefully. So the writing is really good. Like that's I would assume this came out. Did this come out before Fantastic Four and all that? Before he got real big in Marvel?
I feel
I'm
like
gonna have
around
to
about
look it
that
up.
same time. I don't even know when it released, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good few years old now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know when it was released. I can't see. Let me make me.
that's what I'm looking up too. Cause
It's making me
like,
Google stuff.
well, I'm curious. Cause okay, debuted in March 2013 and was concluded in December 2019. Okay, now let me look up.
2013.
Let me see. I wonder if might have been around the same time then. I think you're right because
And no, Fantastic Four was first. Jonathan Hickman's acclaimed
okay.
Fantastic Four run began in 2009.
Yeah, because I was like, I know the new Secret Wars stuff was definitely like early 2010s and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, like Secret Wars when it ended was like 2015, but the initial stuff from Fantastic Four looks like it was
mm-hmm.
2009, which makes
Okay,
sense because
interesting.
I know it went on for like forever. Like it was a
Yeah.
long freaking run on Fantastic
So
Four
I
stuff.
that's kind of interesting because it's almost like it's cool that he was able to do the stuff with Marvel, but then it seems like he's also kind of doing what like he kind of got to do what he wanted to on his own with this book too.
Yeah,
So like I think that's really neat to me because like I was trying to think if this was what got him the all the stuff with Marvel, but then no, it's like oh no, these are out around the same time. So I think
yeah. Like Hickman,
that's really neat.
I don't think Hickman's ever been like Marvel exclusive. I know he's done like chunk of stuff for Marvel at times, but I think for a good chunk of his run, at least there was always that stepping out into the indie space.
Right.
You know, and Hickman's had a ton of run on different Marvel stuff, and but
Hmm.
he's also got a bunch of independent stuff out there as well, and which is really cool to read, and it's
Hmm.
nice to see him taking care of with like his writing for both.
Yes.
You know, like you if you read a Hickman thing, excuse me, like you know what you're getting.
Even the little that I've read of Fantastic Four, like I see the DNA of his writing style in both. Like
Yeah,
I've not finished that whole Fantastic Four volume that I have because I think it was like I have on Kindle. I think it's his complete run. I believe it is because I got
yeah.
it for like super cheap on Kindle. But to have read what I've read, and now to read this, I'm like, oh yeah, you could definitely see that there's a style to his writing, and like the way it's very almost cerebral in a way. Like you can almost it feels like you almost know what he's thinking as he's writing this. Like so it's really neat.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. Um, no, it's definitely Hickman's writing through and through. For if you're a fan of any of his other stuff, or a fan of like in-depth storytelling to that degree, like you will enjoy this.
Hmm.
And then I want to talk about as well Nick Dragotta and Frank Martin for the art and
Oh,
the coloring in this.
which I'm just learning that Nick Dragotta has done like Absolute Batman.
Mm, did not know
I
that.
think.
Yeah, like
Yeah, because the first stuff that
both.
comes up when I look up Nick Dragotta is Absolute Batman covers. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, like
I did not know that.
this stuff's amazing, and like having like if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you might have seen my last video I put up, the life update, that we're in the process of creating our own comic book here. So I've been
Hmm.
doing a lot of in-depth looking at artists and colorists and what it can mean. And one of the artists that I was talking with, like, has a colorist he works with, and um, I literally looked at like the artwork that they did, and it was phenomenal. And then the
Hmm.
colorist that they added to it, just it wasn't quite as good with that coloring.
Hmm.
So it's made me really begin to appreciate how good an artist can be at doing something and how much a colorist can bring something to a book as well.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like Nick Dragotta does Absolute Batman. Aside from the one shot that Daniel Warren Johnson did, yeah, Nick Dragotta does Absolute Batman. Holy crap!
Nice. Yeah, Nick
That's
Dragotta's
neat.
artwork is absolutely stunning in
It's
this.
it's really good.
And then Frank Martin's colouring is just gorgeous. Like the
Yeah.
artwork just pops off the pages for it. Like it's so well done. And it's like
So now I have to wonder if when Death was drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like if like I wonder if they went back and forth about like, oh, I see death as this figure that's like black and white, you know, in the two different moments and stuff like that. Like, I wonder what the creative process was in deciding, oh, that's how I want to depict this character.
It'll be interesting to kind of know for that and what they kind of decided to do for it. I imagine
Hmm.
Hickman was probably the driving force in that, like for writing the script for it and the reasoning for it. But
Yeah,
like, I wonder how much I say like Dragotta and Martin had in it as well, because
yeah.
yeah, like the two of them are like they clearly know their stuff.
Hmm.
Like the art and all of this is stunning. The coloring is beautiful. There's not a piece of it where I'm like, this could be tightened up here or that could look better. Like, no, it looks phenomenal. And we've said it often on this channel, like artwork can make and break a comic. We have read plenty of comics.
This last shot right
Yeah, that's a finale shot. Like literally riding off into the sunset, and it's like badass, man.
here.
Because we've said it, like we've read comics where the artwork has been absolute awful, and it's literally taken us out of it.
Yes, and that's what's I guess I was thinking it just now too. Like I feel like at least in my opinion, the writing because it's Hickman, I feel like takes I guess more of I feel like it takes more of a front seat in this book.
Mm-hmm.
But like that doesn't mean the art is not like fantastic. Like the art is really good.
Oh, 100%.
And the color. And so it's just like you can tell some books are definitely feels like they're a bit more writing forward because they're dense and deep and stuff like that too. But then you get books like when we read what was it, Coda, where the art was almost a detriment to the book.
That's
like,
exactly the one that was springing to mind. Was like check that out
yeah.
as well if you've never seen our video on Coda. It's such a
Yeah.
great concept and such a cool story. Completely wrecked by the artwork, in my opinion. Like I was not a fan
Yes.
of the artwork at all, to the point
Yeah.
of like it dragged us out of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, that was the thing we were saying. Like good comics, like good artwork, can immerse you in a story in a world even more. Bad art
Yeah.
takes you right out.
Yeah. Yes, that's interesting to think about.
So like I think this was a phenomenal team that's been put together for this comic. Like I am hyped to check out volume 2. Like I said, I've got volume 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Like I got volume 2 right here, and it's definitely going on my read
nice.
pile after I finish reading through comic Die by Kieran Gillen, another favorite of the channel. But like I'm hyped to delve into volume 2 and see what's on offer for it.
Yeah, like out of like we've done a few books that I'm like, oh, there's more volumes to this. I could definitely want to check this out.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely
would.
one
This
of
is like I would be more inclined to read further on this one probably out of most of them.
oh
But I
100%.
definitely want to read further on this.
Yeah, I want to see where this goes. It's only 10 volumes. It's like
Yeah, that's not
it's
bad.
a long indie series, but it's not like super in depth where it's like it's going to completely like, oh, I don't know if I can get through that. I'm like, no, I want to see what happens. And it makes me wonder like what's going to happen in 10 volumes. You
It
know,
feels like it's gonna get worse before anything will get better. That's for sure.
yeah. It also gives me peace of mind for it as well, because it feels like it's gonna take its time. Like, you know, we talked
Yeah.
about the first volume being like a first chapter, and it's a very slow build and set up for the world that we're about
Yeah.
to delve into. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's going to continue. We're not rushing through this. We're taking our time to set up what needs to be set up, to walk through what needs to be walked through. And I think that's going to be an awesome read. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I think we both highly recommend this. We would both say go and check out East of West for yourself. Definitely worth picking up. Definitely worth checking out. Anything else you want to add before we kind of wrap up for today?
I don't think so. It's a good blend of sci-fi western stuff. If you like that type of aesthetic, like this is it right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, definitely go and check it out. Check out some of our other stuff on the channel. We've got more Indie Comic Book Club stuff up on the YouTube channel. If you're not following us over there, chuck it in. Go and check us out on our comics YouTube channel. We also have our tabletop and gaming YouTube channels as well.
Yeah.
Keep up to date with all the stuff that we're doing on our social media. Also, as well, if you want to support us at all, please go and check out our Patreon. A lot of this stuff is going to go up, that we do goes up early on our Patreon. We're putting up a lot more exclusive content over there on Patreon, which you can find early access to some videos. You can find behind the scenes stuff on the comic book that we're currently writing of Chronicles of Andrasia, as well as the session 0 of our upcoming TTRPG of Raw Research that's going to be coming to the channel on May 7th, so in just about a week or so. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today. This has been an absolute blast. Come back here and join us tonight at 8 o'clock as myself and LG will be back along with Spacehawk and Lakehouse Monster, and we will be playing some headliners here on the channel tonight as part of our friend slop. We played it on the channel before, had an absolute blast, so looking forward to checking that out again. But I think that's everything from us today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and remember, it's a good week to be a geek. Take care. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.